Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Cynthia, and in today's video I will be sharing with you guys a little bit about how I'm preparing for December daily. This journal here is a journal I received in the mail from Chantale from Red Page Cafe, and it was a prize that I won for participating in one of her sales, so I'm super excited. The moment I saw it, I just knew that I was going to be using this small journal for December daily. It is the first time that I'm doing December daily, so I'm quite excited, but I also don't know how it will work for me, so I'm trying to prepare myself in the best ways that I possibly can. So here I'm just showing you, it came with a little bit of handmade ephemera, and just doing a quick flip of the different pages that are in the journal right now. The tones in the journal are quite grungy, but a lot of greens and reds, so that's why when I saw the journal I just thought it would be perfect for December daily. And here you can see on the cover there's already some really interesting elements, and I thought I would just add a little bit to it to make it more Christmas themed, because obviously I don't think that was intended as a Christmas journal, but you know, I think that it's a great way to just use a journal that otherwise I wouldn't have particularly known how to use it. And maybe you have a journal at home that is just sitting on a shelf and you're not sure how to use it, and there's possibility for you to add a few elements to it to create your own junk journal for December daily. So here I'm just showing you a few of the elements that I've collected for December daily. These are some stickers that I bought last year, and I also have like some winter ephemera and a little bit of a piece of lace that I thought maybe I could use on the cover here. And here's some of the winter ephemera. I separate most of my ephemera this way, just in different bags depending on the themes. And I also have a little folder here which I've added to with some new ephemera that I've acquired just recently, but I try and keep things simple, and I'm just hoping that I get creative enough for each day of December daily. So jumping into what I'm hoping to do here is just to add a little bit to this cover. I thought that I could add a little element that was Christmas themed to make it feel a little bit more Christmassy, as obviously a lot of it is going to come just through my spreads and using different papers that have prints on them that are Christmas themed, or just various ephemeras. But here I kind of had in mind that I would use a Santa, and I'm trying to go through the different stickers that I have here, and what I'm finding out about these stickers as I'm going through them is that although they're really cute, the tone of them is very cool tone, and the rest of the journal is actually quite warm tone, and that's not something I would have noticed until placing one on top of the other. But I wanted things to flow and just seem like what I was going to be adding to the cover was made to be within the cover to begin with, and not just like a random add-on I was doing. So these were not going to be working for that reason. So what I end up doing here is I'm going to go through a ton of Christmas cards that I have acquired from my mother-in-law. She gave me all these Christmas cards that she's just been accumulating through the years, and I'm super thankful for that. There's actually like so many great things that I can use and create ephemera with. And so I'm just going through a little bit of it and trying to find an appropriate image that could work. My biggest challenge here is to find ephemera that is small enough, because a lot of the cards have bigger images and I am kind of restricted in the amount of room that I have on top of the cover, as I don't want to cover the other elements that are already there. So I find this little Santa here, but I'm just making sure that there's no other interesting ephemera here that I could use. Now that I've gone through all these cards and just made sure that there wasn't a better fit, I do decide to use this little Santa. It just seems like the right colors. The Santa itself just looks a little bit more grungy, which really suits the whole feel of the journal, and just the color and tones of it. I can see here that the card is actually from the 70s, which is kind of cool. I mean, it's not super vintage, but it's still a little ways ago. And I'm just ripping it, and I'll be distressing it with two different stains to try and mimic the distressing that's already present on the other elements of the cover. But I'm so excited, you guys, to try December Daily. I've been accumulating some things over the past few weeks, and I hope I'll be able to film a couple videos for you guys. It's been a little bit challenging filming. There hasn't been much sunlight, and I don't have as many days off, but in December I do have a few more days off, so I'm hoping to have a little bit more time. So here you can see that I'm grabbing this distressing ink. This one is pretty much black, and the next one I'll use, I believe, is either walnut or chestnut, but it's quite dark. I'd love to know what you guys are planning to do for December Daily. Are you taking part in December Daily? I don't think I'll be using any prompts unless I kind of get to a point that I don't know what to journal about. I mainly plan on just journaling about daily events, as well as just random memories that I have about Christmas time. Now that I've distressed the image, I'm trying to see where I can place it on the cover. Ideally, I want to put it at the top so that it doesn't cover too much of the typewriter, as I actually really liked the typewriter and it made me think of writing a letter to Santa or a Santa like naughty and nice list. So I didn't want to cover that too much. So I do put the Santa at the top, and since I've ripped another little bit of it, I am going to distress what I've ripped a little bit more before I secure it onto the journal here, but I don't want to place it just quite yet. I do think there's something missing, and I have that piece of lace that I'm hoping to use, so I'm thinking that if I layer the two together, it'll bring in even more Christmas vibes to the whole journal. With this journal, I didn't want to add any tabs to it for now, especially because just knowing myself, I love to add tabs as I'm going through, and I'm still not sure how I'm going to go about my numbers for December daily. So I'm just trying to leave myself a little bit of creative room to grow within the journal and experiment different things, since it is my first time trying out December daily. Of course, Christmas this year, it's going to be so different for me. I typically go home around this time of year and spend a lot of time with my family, but this year I am just going to be working through the holidays and just staying home with my husband, which is nice. I mean, it's our first year, our first Christmas married, and also actually only our second Christmas together. Typically I go home and he stays with his family, so it'll be nice to kind of start our own traditions and explore what that can look like for us. But I'd love to know if you have any favorite traditions that you do around Christmas time. Perhaps I can try out some of those. All I have so far on my list are essentially just baking some Christmassy goodies and probably watching some Christmas movies, but I'm not too sure about anything else that that we could do. I thought maybe if the weather allows, perhaps do a nice Christmas walk, but often around this time of year it is quite cold, so we'll see what happens. So here I just applied some wet glue to the cover. I was generous with it because there's quite a bit of texture onto the cover, and I want to make sure that things are going to be adhering. Now I did end up having glue all over my fingers, so I apologize. I am going to be rubbing my fingers quite a bit to try and remove some of the excess glue that's left on them. And just adding more wet glue to the Santa himself to be able to stick it onto the cover. Now that I'm relatively done with the Santa, I do want to add the Merry Christmas that was present on the card as well. I really like the font of it, and I thought it was just the perfect addition to really tie in the cover. And I mean, Santa is clearly Christmassy enough to make it clear that this is a Christmas journal, but I thought the Merry Christmas was just sweet. So I am going to slightly distress that and just glue it onto the cover with the same glue. Now that I'm done with the cover part of it, I do want to add a pocket on the inside, and as a pocket I want to use the pocket of ephemera that Chantale included with this journal. So I'm simply going to put some glue on the edges surrounding the back of the pocket. This way I'll be able to use the pocket as a pocket, as well as the fold that's in it that is intended to be a pocket. I am putting quite a bit of glue. There is stitching, so it's a little bit bulkier and it will take a little bit longer to set, which you will see. I cut a ton of time that I was holding the two pieces together and trying to make sure that they adhered really well together, but I didn't put any of the ephemera back into the back part of the pocket, as I was afraid that it would lift up the pocket. And as I was trying to put it in, I was struggling a little bit, and I didn't want to undo what I had been working on, so I ended up just putting the ephemera all back into the little front pocket and left the back part of it alone for now as the glue continued to set. But here you see me just pressing down and pressing down again and pinching and waiting and just pressing some more. And I did that for a little while, so And that's about it for this video, you guys. Like I said, I have never done December daily before, and I didn't want to add anything else to this journal, in hopes that as I am journaling, I'm really kind of figuring out what my style it looks like within the Christmas theme. Also, that this journal is a little bit grungier than my typical style. I'm really looking forward to seeing how my style and the style of the journal are going to mesh together. But you know, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Perhaps it gave you a little bit of ideas on how you can alter one of your journals that you have at home and make it into a Christmas journal if you don't already have one. I thank you so much for watching this video, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I would love for you to support me. It just means so much to me to have you guys like and comment and simply watch my videos. It brightens my day for sure. So I wish you all a good day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.